I freaking look wasted. Oh, you high. You high, Billy. You high. Oh, why are you so high? Oh, because you high. Oh, you high? Oh, you high? Who's high? You high? Ah. What's up? What's up? Oh, my chair stinks. What up, y'all? What up? Before I get banned from Facebook again, yeah. Oh, I forgot what I did this time. Oh, right. I cursed at somebody who told me I don't know about the stock market. I guess I used too aggressive of language. I was in Facebook jail again. This time they let me out in 5 days. Just want to let you know, if you guys are trading out there, this is officially, man, you're white. This is officially the greatest day of the year by far. We had a lot of great days this year, but today, the greatest day by far. I'm like angelically white. Wow, that is some whiteness. Damn. Let me shut that. It's too white even for me. Oh, ain't that white. Hey, white. What's you going now, white? Better? You can see in my expressions. So why was today the greatest day? Well, it started off pretty good because one stock that everybody was loving was absolutely hammered. CCIV tried to play a little bounce pre-market, got paid, went back to AMC of all stocks. That's been strong. Was strong yesterday. But more importantly, what we're witnessing, finally, some selling. Whoa. Anytime the market goes down, people still seem shocked by it. There was a time when the market went down more often than it went up. I know, it's hard to imagine. There was a time where you'd go down at least once a week. I know, crazy, right? Now we go up. When you don't go up 90% of the time, everybody thinks this is something, scary. You're supposed to go down. But going down, it didn't even go down. It was what we call a gap down. So they artificially made the market go down. They just started it down. Monday morning, you woke up, we were already down. You had no way to sell. So it's called a gap down. So they gapped it down. It's bullshit, but that's what happens. And then today, they did it again. So it's not like you could have sold at the higher prices. Don't beat yourself up. But when they start the market down considerably, there's nowhere else to go but up. So you look for buying opportunities, especially if you like the stock at 38, 48 hours ago. Now it's at 23. What's changed? Nothing. If you liked it at 38, you got to love it here at 23. Wall Street's the only place where when they put something on sale, everybody runs out of the store. If you walk into Macy's and the coat you wanted for $125 was on sale for $50, you're going to say, nah, that's crazy. I don't want it now for $50. But in the stock market, that's everybody's attitude. You loved it at 50, now it's at 23. Ooh, no, something's wrong. Maybe sometimes something is wrong, but in a market that perpetually goes up, usually you're going to be right by buying a stock that you just liked when it's discounted by 20% 2 days later. Sometimes, again, drug doesn't work, CEO rapes somebody, it's a game changer. Again, rape and the drug's not working don't really mean too much in the market that goes up every day. Rape and your drug killed somebody, your stock probably goes up 50% 2 months ago because that was the name of the game. It didn't matter. Killing people and raping people, that's good. That's 20%. That's a 20% pop in your stock. But today, gapping down, if you're just playing VWAP, if you're trading the algorithmic setup that I've been talking about for 8 years, it was just a blue line. Letters, numbers, and some squiggly lines, and you push the button, and that's how easy today was. It was phenomenal, really. Some stocks I didn't even expect to even have a bounce bounced. That penny stock that we're all in, the one that went from 91 cents to 4 and change and then did the reverse split and we sold it, that was down to 25 bucks. It went to 32 already. Tiger, you love Tiger at 38 2 days ago. Stock was at 24.50 today. Bought some at 25.50. If you liked, basically anything, you had a 15 or 20% discount this morning. If you like the Qs, Qs over VWAP, that trade continues to work. It should be a trade that everybody's figured out by now, but I know for a fact that people aren't getting it. It's basically if you're gap down and you break back over the VWAP, usually the buying continues. I like to be a typical Wall Street douchebag and say the same thing over and over again to make myself look smart, but there's not much more to say. If you're gap down and you start breaking back over VWAP, usually the buyers will get triggered and then the shorts will have to cover. And that's why it's such a great trade. And then if you have your multiple time frame VWAPs in place, you have your target. So you got your risk, you got your reward, everything's laid out there right in front of you. It's all about whether or not you're afraid to do this, on days where it's more volatile, instead of risking 20, let's say 20 cents to make 50, today you had to risk 35 or 40 to make 50 or $1. But the basics of it, if you liked something at 38, 48 hours ago, why don't you like it here at 25? What's up, man? And by the way, none of this has anything to do with investing. We're not investing. I still think we got some more room to the downside, but you just made back 7 points. So you had a 7-point bounce in the Qs. There was a time where you wouldn't see 7 points in the Qs in a month, weeks. Because what we did today also shows you that what do you need to own, right? ALTU, right? Here's a stock that we just bought, 11.35, bought more at 12.50. Next thing you know, things at 14 and change. We're all excited. Oh, and then it rolls over. We sold some yesterday, and then it broke down. Again, if you're an investor, you don't sell it. If you're a swing trader, you're kind of, weary. So let's say you were just looking for a buying opportunity. Here's the stock, ALTU. We liked it at 11.35. It got to 14 and change. And here it is, back to 11.35. Where's the debate? You liked it at 11.35 and you regret not buying it 2 days ago. Here it is at 11.35. You didn't think you'd get a chance to buy it back at 11.35, but the first thing that's in your brain is like, ooh, wait a minute, maybe I don't want it here at 11.35. But you do, Blanche. You do want it at 11.35 because you know what it is now? Risk reward, even if the trade doesn't work, at least at 11.35 when it bounced off 11, or even on the way down like I bought it. Obviously if it would have broke 11, I was thinking 10 at the time. I was buying it more for a small day trade, but I was liking 11.35 because it worked before. And I figured same scenario, buying at 11.35, risking that $1 and change to own it. And it bounced considerably. So $1 bounce on an $11 stock, that's basically 10%. 10% in 40 minutes. Thanks, man. Like and subscribe. Hit this like button. But more importantly than hitting the like button or subscribing to the videos, if you're really trading, come and join me. I'm still doing exactly like I say. What is it that I do? I'm a schmuck. All right? There's no denying that. I'm a freaking lunatic, broken man. The opportunities that I've left on the table, so the money that I've left on the table in the last 12 or 15 years is astronomical. Sure, I wish I would have held on my Tesla and the rest, but I didn't. Doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. And a day like today is where you see the power of the VWAP and somebody who's just going to guide you or kind of nudge you in the right direction. That's what I'm best at. Again, I'm not a fan of investing in this market when you can make 10% a day. Sure, the last 8 years, if you would have held on, then good. I'm glad somebody, some guys, we held the QQQ the whole time. Great. I've been trying to short that thing for the last 18 months, getting smoked. But really what it comes down to is coming and hanging out in the chat room, seeing this live, and then making it work. I just got to stop doing everything else. I mean, last year, my 2 biggest trades were losses. Again, trying to short the Qs, getting smoked, and obviously space beat the living shit out of me. I mean, that one stock destroyed my whole year because I was long at the worst time, and then I tried shorting it, and I got crushed on the short too. Just ate me alive. But now I'm not going to do that. Now, this is the kind of day where you just make your money, shut the computer off, and now I wait for tomorrow to do it again. I'm not going to own stocks. I'm not going to swing trade. I'm not doing too much of that. I like Tiger. I bought the dip today. We'll see. I'm just not a fan of owning stocks, and I never will be ever again. I've missed the greatest bull market in the history of mankind. I've missed it. It's already happened. Whether or not this market continues to do what it just did over the last 13 years, I got a hard time thinking it's going to replicate what just happened since 2008 or even just from the pandemic lows. But you give me one day like this a week and I'll be fine, and everybody should be fine. Today is a day where the money was just being handed out, and you got to take what you can get. Don't be afraid. But it's hard to not be afraid when you're looking at the stocks that you own getting hammered. And you're afraid because now you're like, oh, do I want to commit more money to these trades? Oh my God. And the next thing you know, you miss the biggest bounce and a great opportunity. You don't have to invest. And by the way, I own one stock right now, TIGR. I don't even want to own that. Everything else I have as far as stock ownership is called naked put writing. Naked put writing is I'm legitimately long in theory, but 20, 30, sometimes 50% lower from where these stocks are. I'm selling puts, assuming that they're not going to go down to those levels, and I collect the premium. That's the way I've been long. And again, thank God, because I sold puts on MJ. If I would have owned MJ this whole time, we're down 10 points, right? Sorry, we're down 12 points off the highs. That's a lot of points. But if you sold puts at $18 for $1, even though this thing's fallen 10 points, those $18 puts are still down, which is good for us as we're sellers, because the volatility in the name compressed. So the options got slapped a little bit. It's again, options selling, it's a whole different thing. You better know what you're doing there too. But really knowing what you're doing is, trading around VWAP, it's so important. But the best part about it, it simplifies trading. And when you truly believe, remember, this is like an AA meeting. First step to VWAP trading, admit that you know nothing about the market, because you don't. And if that's insulting to you, then you're probably not going to make it. You got to admit you know nothing. You got to admit that you're powerless to this shit. You got to admit that you're going to be fooled. You got to admit that it's not going to make sense. Stocks come out with blowout earnings, they go down. Stocks that are, their drugs aren't working, the CEO is raping boys, and the stock rallies 20%. You're never going to make sense of the market. But the only thing that continues to make sense, because it is the market, is volume weighted average price. So if you just follow the volume weighted average price, it's going to tell you whether or not you are right or wrong, and whether or not you want to believe and check your ego and your emotions and what you think you know. Unless you're ready to check that at the door, you will fail as a trader, because it's never going to make sense. I'm not saying every once in a while you get that trade, because this short made sense to me. I saw the turn of the QQQ. The QQQ has been looking like more of an ATM machine. They're cashing out of the QQQ type stocks to buy the energy and the oil. I saw the transfer and the rotation. But you're not going to see the transfer and the rotation if you don't even know what that means. The market, money doesn't really come out of the market too much. It rotates into different sectors, sector rotation, seasonality. But one thing I know stuff, but I don't know. Nobody knows. So the one thing I can hang my hat on, the one thing I can really appreciate, is that these VWAP trades continue to work. And that's what I try to demonstrate every day on a daily basis. That's redundant. Every day on a daily basis. Yes. Each day on a daily basis, every day, I do it each day. And it becomes redundant, just like that sentence was. What up, Joe? So redundancy is what helps you learn, and being punched in the face a couple hundred times. Because why did I lose money on space? Because I was a stubborn prick fuck about it. That's a technical term, prick fuck. A prick fuck is when you know you're doing something wrong, but you're such a stubborn prick fuck about it that you allow it to happen, even though you're saying to yourself, why am I doing this? But yet that emotion can't overcome the prick fuckiness, and you let it happen anyway. Yeah, total prick fuck on space. No reason to be short that stock when it broke over 40 and change that day. I wound up losing 9 points on 2,000 shares like that. Just absolutely mortified. Just sitting there like this. Why am I doing this? That wasn't a VWAP reversal. Why am I short a stock breaking all-time highs? Why am I staring at it, not getting out? Why am I being a prick fuck about it? And I just sat there staring at it, getting worse and worse and worse until I couldn't take the pain anymore. I almost top ticked it. Anyway, but the VWAP, if you choose to ignore it, then you deserve to lose money. If you're going to be a prick fuck, you're going to be broke really, really soon. So don't be a prick fuck. Let the VWAP into your life and take a moment to reflect. I got to go, but you know nothing. Nothing ever will make sense. VWAP is the truth. VWAP is the way. You know nothing. Feel better? Admitting you know nothing, it goes a long way. I'm telling you. It's invigorating. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, right? But I know that if this happens and that happens, then this usually happens. And that's the end of the thought process. It's one big fat if-then statement. And it's the way to be. All right? Be careful out there, kids. We're finally seeing some volatility. We may actually go down 3 days in a row for the first time in a long time. All right, be careful, my friends. Stay here. Join me in the live room. Get your VWAP right, because you're going to be lost without it. I certainly have been. All right. Careful. See you.